This land in the rugged Barrington Tops of New South Wales may now be the last chance for one of Australia's most iconic marsupials, the ferocious predator and scavenger, the Tasmanian devil.
I'm Juliette Pearce. The Tasmanian devil has been around for hundreds of thousands of years, but in the past decade the numbers have started to drop, to the point where in as little as 10 years the devil could be extinct.
With its cousin the Tasmanian tiger or thylacine going extinct in the last century, a campaign is now underway to stop the devil suffering the same fate.
Hi Tim, how are you?
Good, thanks.
So you're the expert on the Tasmanian devils.
Yeah, come on in, we'll have a look. Just here is Scratch and Smeagol, and they're now almost 2 years old.
Okay, so can we get in a little bit closer?
Not with these two boys. 3 months ago, yes. But at this point, we're approaching the next breeding season, and right now you'll hear them, squabbling, and they're establishing territories, and with that comes a bit of dominance and aggression. It's got the 4th strongest jaw on Earth for its size. By having a strong jaw, they can crush through bone, they can eat the horns, they can eat the skull, they can eat everything.
So the devils are dying out. What is happening?
Well, they've contracted a disease. It's called DFTD, or devil facial tumour disease.
This disease was first discovered in 1996 and turns healthy animals like this into this. It is one of the few cancers known to be a contagious disease. It spreads from animal to animal when they bite each other, something they do a lot during the breeding season or when they're squabbling over food. Devils have been isolated on Tasmania since the last ice age. Since then, they have undergone several population crashes which have caused a reduction in their genetic diversity because the population was rebuilt from small numbers of survivors. As a result, the immune systems of today's devils don't recognise the tumour cells as foreign because they come from an animal so genetically similar to themselves. So with no immunity against the cancer, the devils will die within 6 months of contracting it.
The disease has spread to 80 or 90% of the state. It has decimated the equal amount of devils. 80-90% of devils are gone. So there's somewhere between 10, 20, 30,000 devils left.
Wow.
And they are still on a rapid spiral downwards.
What would happen if we lose a devil, and what would the impact be on the environment?
Well, they'd be significant. Fox and cat, feral predators, have not been able to establish in Tasmania because the devil predates their young. Now, if the devil's gone and they get established, all of the small fauna in Tasmania, and it's rich with it, that the mainland has lost, that's what's at stake.
And that's where the devil ark comes in. At an altitude of 1,350 metres and covering over 500 hectares on mainland Australia, it provides the perfect breeding environment. The Tasmanian-like vegetation and cool, wet and snowy conditions makes the devils feel right at home. John Weigel is the man that launched the ark.
Well, this seems like a big setup. We've got 50 devils here, but if we're going to really contribute to saving the Tassie devil, we need to conserve the genetic diversity of the species. We're not talking 50 animals, we're talking 500, maybe 1,000.
So what would happen if you introduced devils that have been hand-fed back to Tasmania?
If a species is kept in, let's say, intensive conditions like we have at this part of the program, over a 20 or 30 or 40-year period, they're going to become adapted to living in little pens. We have the ability to keep devils in an environment over an extended period where their natural behaviours can be conserved.
Healthy animals are selected from native Tasmanian habitats, quarantined for 12 months to make sure there is no sign of the disease, and then transported to the ark. They're kept as close as possible to their wild state so that one day they can be set free back in Tasmania. To do that needs space.
We're on 500 hectares. We're utilising 25 hectares at the moment. Smallest yard's about the size of a football field.
Wow.
Biggest yard's about the size of 3, almost 4 football fields. It's one of the biggest conservation projects going on in Australia, if not the world. It's a big fight that we're fighting to save the Tasmanian devil.
And part of the fight is keeping them fed.
Yeah, this one here. So these are our devils that we got in here. All their names.
I'm under orders to create a scent lines. I've done my scent trail, but this is really scary because they're all coming out. So it's been quite effective, I must say, my little job. Adrian, I need your help now. Right, so they can actually eat that entire thing, bones and
bones and all. No matter how thick the bone, those guys can chew through it like it's toast.
There's an absolute feeding frenzy going on here. So when are these guys going to be taken back to Tasmania?
We can't put devils back into a diseased environment. So this could be a 20, 30-year project because the disease has to run its course to enable us to be able to put devils back into the environment.
There's no doubt these devils are thriving in their new home on the Australian mainland. But the terrible irony is that unless a way can be found to stop this disease, all the devils in Tasmania may have to die out.
Only when there is not a single contaminated devil left can the new generation of healthy devils be returned to their island home.